I'm here. I muted and everything. I'm wearing brand colors, I'm out here today.
All right. That's what I like to see. So yeah, maybe just introduce yourself. Tell the people about, give them your elevator pitch. Tell them what you're working on. Tell them like who is Hanna Salazar. What's the advice from Hanna Salazar brand?
So cool. First of all, thank you, man, for having me on your platform. Your episode 3. I really like the vibe. So thank you for having me. For everyone to log on and share a vibe with us for a little minute or two. I'm Hanna Salazar. I'm the founder of the personal development brand called Advice from Hanna. And it's a podcast too now because of people. So, and I pick up a mic or two sometimes and I help my friends do cool stuff. So that's kind of a bit about me. Why I got started was, I'm sure we'll get into it, but basically I was just tired of not doing the things that I wanted to do. So I decided to level up and here we are. So that's a bit about me. Elevator pitches are hard, but
Oh, that's cool. I mean, you don't got to give the elevator pitch version. Talk about what weren't you happy with, what got you started, and I mean, as a part of that is like, how did you get out of that funk?
The funk. The funk is a good word. I like that. So, I was somebody that I was always online and I was seeing everybody else like, oh, get fab in 90 days and level up in 2 minutes. And they're all like glamorizing everything that it looks so great. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, am I the only one that's on my ass right now? This is not as easy as it looks. Why isn't anybody touching the icky feeling stuff? And you know me, I'm an emotional mutt. So I like to share how I feel and share everything. So I was sitting on my bed, I kid you not, and I look at my husband and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start Advice from Hanna. And it just literally came out. So I opened up a page and the whole thing was, I didn't want to show my face. I know, right? Look where we are now. I didn't want to show my face. I wanted to be some anonymous person. And I saw that my account got hacked at like 70 followers. I'm like, who does this? So poor chick. So I came back and I relaunched Advice from Hanna, but I did a video. And if you're like nosy and you want to look in my Instagram, if you scroll down, all the way down, right? I see you nodding. All the way down, the video is there. The video is there. And, it really resonated with people. And I started getting DMs of like, hey, I feel super inadequate right now. And it's totally not cool that my friends are doing ABC, but I really want to do XYZ. How do I kind of do that and not feel like I'm the odd one out? And I'm the first to say I'm the odd one out. All my friends are making freaking star-shaped sandwiches and having some like mommy and me dates right now. And I'm out here chasing a dream. So, it's different. It's definitely different, but it's different and it's mine and I love it. So yeah, we rambled there for a minute, but I hope you guys caught the vibe.
No, that's cool. So yeah, so you say you just started one day. So what were some of what were some of the challenges? Like you said, it's not all easy. It's not straightforward. So what are some of the challenges that you faced when you just started out? Like one of the things that I'm most impressed about you is your work ethic. So I don't know like how many episodes you've completed, but talk about like how you stay consistent, how you overcome challenges, how you overcome doubt when you didn't want to show up.
Oh, that happens to me all the time. I want to go on the record and say that motivation comes in waves. So everybody loves to talk about motivation, but it's not motivation, it's discipline. When you're disciplined, you get stuff done. So with me, I've always been a very disciplined person. You could speak to anybody that knows me, and my work ethic has always spoken for itself. I have a crazy work ethic. I can work 12, 16-hour days. I've been doing that since COVID started. And it's just the way that I am. So when I first started my brand, I was just like, listen, I don't know anything about graphics. I don't know anything about digital, nothing. I barely knew how to hashtag. And I was super honest with myself. And I said, you know what? I didn't study media or marketing in school. I studied hospitality. What do I know? What is it that you know at this very moment right now that you're damn good at? And that's talking to people. I'm good at talking to people. People tell me their problems all the time. I'm on the bus driver's telling me that his wife is doing XYZ. I'm on the train. Somebody's talking to me. I sit down to eat. Somebody talks to me. It's just a thing. I have a vibe. I'm very approachable. So I banked on that. I banked on how approachable I was, and I took like the online Instagram space and I DM'd everybody under the sun. If I thought
Oh,
you
for
were cool,
real,
I was all up in your DMs like, hey, I'm Hanna, I'm a speaker. Never spoken in my life. I'm a speaker and I really think you're so cool. And I just fangirl everybody. I still fangirl. Like, I'm a fan of so many people and what they do. That's kind of like the core in me. I'm like such a fangirl. So I started asking people that were doing cooler things than me. And I'm like, dude, how do you do that? What is up? How do you have graphics? What's Canva? You have a podcast? What is that? How do you do that? And I kept asking different people, and really the thing is, I'm a connector by trade, right? So I
right?
connect people, started seeing people do really cool stuff. And I was talking to my uncle who's like my dad, and I'm like, dude, I want to do all these things. I want to be a speaker. I want to have a podcast. And he's like, just get around the people that are doing it already, and then you'll learn. And I kid you not, you learn. My podcast, I started it because my online platform, I had advice from Hanna for 2 years now in total. I had my 2-year anniversary March 5th. Yay.
Congrats,
And
congrats.
after, thank you. You know, I was proud of myself. I was like, let's go. So, you know, wasn't that fun? I was like, let's see what we're doing year 10. So, you know, that happened, and I said to myself, well, I want to start a podcast. So I hit up Elia. I don't know if Elia's in here, because they had a podcast, and I thought it was the coolest thing since sliced bread. And she's like, well, you just need a mic and Audacity. And I'm like, I can get a mic. Okay, cool. Online, got a mic. And then I did the thing that we all do. So you go tell your friend that's known you since you were frigging, you know, winding it up on Weston Road, and you tell them, hey, I'm going to start a podcast, and you're going to get, why? What are you going to do that for? You don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
So you get that, and that stopped me from doing a podcast for a solid 6 months. I had the mic, I had everything, and I didn't start it. I didn't. I sat there terrified, thinking that nobody in their right mind was going to listen to me ramble on a mic. And then I had a real conversation with myself in the mirror, and I was just like, why are you being such a little, and, you know, I'm not going to, I told myself, I'm like, well, everybody is doing this. Why can they grab a mic and I can't? What's holding me back? Like, why can't I grab a mic? So I literally
What was holding you back?
Well, the thing that was holding me back was myself, right? So we're all concerned. This is a thing. Now it's a vibe. So we're all concerned how what we're going to do is going to be perceived by other people. And newsflash, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Right. That's so true. That's so true, yeah.
Like, you could be the biggest unicorn ever and you're slaying it, and people who really vibe with you are going to be like, yeah, girl, you go. Yeah, you get that podcast. And the people that don't are going to be like, oh, well, look at her. Well, she thinks she's all that in a bag of chips. I'm like, and dip now, hun. Yeah, leave that. So, you know, yeah, I make fun. I poke fun of it, but like, you really have to get over yourself and think of, I'm worthy and I am enough to do this. Because let's be honest, Eminem, he wasn't great when he started. If we're gonna talk music, right? Drake, everybody hated Drake. Oh God, I was like the #1 Drake hater. I was like, what is this guy?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I was like, what is he doing? You know, but now I totally love him. And there's so many others. I can go on and on and on, but there's something that you have. There's this thing that you have that nobody else in this whole entire universe has, and you can capitalize on that if you so wish to. But you got to take that thing and bring it up to surface and see if it likes. But there's something else though that I learned along the way of like doing this. If you're doing your passion project, that thing that you're launching, if you're doing it for praise, stop. Just stop.
Okay.
Just stop. Because you're never going to get the praise that you want, because you're the one that's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., waking up at 6 a.m., going to work, going to go take this, talking to this person. Like, and somehow people think it gets easier, but I've sent like 7 emails since COVID because I want this specific type of guest on my show, and I've gotten no answers. None. So I'm out here like, is my approach wrong? Like, do I smell? Like, what's happening, right? So you know, these are things that happen even when, like, I have this like constant struggle with myself that, you know, everybody's like, oh, well, you did this thing now and you did this podcast. Aren't you happy? I'm like, no, this is just like the tipping point of like all the other great things. But you have to keep believing in yourself along the way and have core people that can call you out ASAP. Have those 4 people that you can call and be like, I'm gonna quit, man. I don't want to do this. And you know, they'll pull you up and be like, hey, listen, kid, I don't know what it is that you're on today, but I need you to snap out of it and keep going, because like, you know, your ego, when you fly high, that's how you avoid the bullshit. Sorry, I swear.
No, it's okay, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
So what'd you say? You need 4 people?
Yeah, 4. I need 4. There's 4 core
Yeah.
people that call that like that I've allowed to set me straight. Like they're allowed to talk to me like that.
Yeah, somebody said we all need our 911 friends.
Yeah, we do. We do need our 911 friends. I had to message one this morning, and I was just like, I'm pulling the plug on this whole thing. And yeah, I got spoken to pretty roughly, and I stepped up by like 11 a.m. It was gone.
Okay, cool. So yeah, there's a question from
Reggie, you
Gisela.
cannot be the 5th. No.
Your top tips for someone that's just starting a podcast, and how does your podcast stand out from others?
Well, because I'm on the mic. That's the first thing. So if you're somebody that is doing something, you automatically have to think you're the best at doing it just because you're doing it. I don't care if you think it's trash. You have to think that you're the very best at it. That's kind of something, that's the core in me. Like, I think I'm the best. Even though I know I have my flaws, I think that I'm the best. And what stands out from mine is I'm doing it out of the sheer passion of love for it. That's why I'm doing it. Like, there's love that goes behind it. There's a thought process that goes behind every single episode of what airs at what time, when, and my guests that I pick are very strategic. So I may not be a Joe Rogan, mind you, because that's whoever anybody ever plugs. Oh, you're like Joe Rogan. I'm like, I wish this guy's like up and, you know. So I may not be a Joe Rogan, but this is my podcast, and I do it with love. And that's it. That's my main factor. That's how I feel I stand out. Or if not, you can ask all the listeners, and then, you know, let them know what's popping. They'll let you know.
And what's your advice for somebody starting out podcast? Couple tips or?
Dude, I just had a webinar on this. Start. I need you to start. I don't care if you're taping on your phone or if you're taping on your Dell laptop from freaking 2012, which is what I have. Start. I don't care if it doesn't sound good, if it doesn't look good. Start speaking to the people that are doing the thing that you want to do. So if you know a podcaster, no, don't send me 12 DMs, everybody, about how to start a podcast. But you know, they're not going to flood me later. You know, I'll host a masterclass or something to kind of answer all the questions, but get in touch with somebody who's doing a podcast that has the same style of or flavor that you want, and just be like, hey man, do you want to, you know, grab a virtual coffee, or do you have some time, or get on their show, get on the person's show, and then see how they do what they do. If you don't want to be like, oh, I'm scheming to be just like you. Because I've had a couple that's happened to me 1 or 2 times, but yeah.
I'm just gonna take up any other questions. Hold on. Yeah, so I had a question or a couple. Shout out to Montreal.
Hey. That's the cuz. That's the cuz. What's going on?
Yeah. Shout out, man. What's up? Okay, so how much? So you have 2. Talk about the podcast. So you have 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. You just started 2nd season. So mm-hmm. How many episodes were the 1st season? Like, how many weeks in a row did you drop? And give me like some episodes. Like, what's your favorite episode? What's your hardest episode to record? Give me those two.
Come on, you're just out here killing me right now. You're killing me. Okay, so 1st season I had 55 episodes. It sounds a bit wild and intense, but that's just me. I like to perfect things until I move forward with them. The reason why I have 55 episodes is because I did a Christmas special where I dropped an episode every single day for 12 days straight. So that kind of bumped me up for the 55. the hardest episode I ever did was the first one, because I didn't know whether I was
Okay.
coming or going. And that was super, super hard. And, you know, I actually had the opportunity to interview somebody that I admired for like a very long time. And so that is, it's called Featuring Marisol and, oh man, now I forget the title name because it's like my brain. But I'll show you guys later. I'll plug it in the chat room. But I had admired her from like time, and she was actually my very first connect that I made when I went to my very first networking event. So she had me like fresh out the water, and I didn't know anything. So I immediately said like, "Hey, you should be on my show." Mind you, I didn't even have a show yet. You should be on my show, and that I have a show. I don't have one yet. Okay, but that's just me. So that was super hard. And you know what? I'm gonna be very honest with you. The 55 episodes, that is a lot to be consistent and drop every single Tuesday at midnight, whether I was in a mood or not. My personal life in shambles, whatever it was, I dropped it, and that itself was a super hard task, especially the 12 days. Who told me to do 12 days? Now I want to do 20, but you know, now I kind of have the knowledge in my head of the preparation that takes to do that. But yeah, that would have been it. I had so many great conversations though. It's like asking me to pick my favorite children when all of them are.
Well, just give me one of your favorite. Like, well, give me one of your favorite ones.
So I did an episode called The Goods with Lisa LaBute. She is a vegan. She has a vegan cafe in Bronxville. And that was a sheer organic conversation. I had never talked with her. And it was like the most beautiful thing because I went to her shop, it closed, like she shut down, and not for me, but like I went on a day and like she's like, oh, just wait around till closing. And we probably talked for like 3 hours and then we taped.
Right.
It was such like a vibe that it's literally probably one of my most listened to episodes. And because it was just, she got in there of how the creative process that she has to make her all vegan, all organic. There's no can opener in her space food. Like she went in there and I did that in like 35 minutes, which was like blessed. So, but because I finessed her for like 3 hours. So of course I got the short version of things. So that's probably like my favorite episode. And all my solo ones when I'm all like in my feelings. All my solo ones when I'm in my feelings, which is probably all of
them. For real. Another question. A lot of people talking about your persistence, consistency, just bigging you up. Go Hanna. Corwin said, "What's the most emotional episode?" What was the outcome? Maybe one of those solo ones.
In the house. Why? Why are you asking?
Yeah, the connector in the building. Yeah, man.
What's going on? So, you know, which one was it? Okay, so not a lot of you guys know. Now I'm forgetting the name, but not a lot of you guys know that I was in a motor vehicle accident last August. And when that happened, I literally had a gig the very next day, and I went to the gig all mashed up, but I did it anyways. So when that happened, I had pre episodes, like pre-recorded episodes that I dropped because, you know, preparation is key. So you have to have your episodes before. So there's an episode called Show Up for Yourself.
Okay.
In season 1, it's called Show Up for Yourself. And I literally probably listened to that episode alone myself like 15 times. Like whenever I felt like crap, I would go and I would listen to Show Up for Myself because it's been one of the only episodes that I really did that I needed at that very moment to show up for myself because I literally, you know, like some of you in here may know me personally, I'm a rock to a lot of people. So when I'm like in my feelings, nobody could take me out but me. So I had to show up for myself. So it's called Show Up for Myself. It's a really good episode. And I literally just spit facts. So whenever I feel like down, even now in 2020, like 2 weeks ago, I went and I listened to Show Up for Yourself in season 1 because I'm like, all right, Hanna, you know, show up for your damn self. Like, let's go. Let's get this going. You did 911 and freaking stars and all the other stuff. You're going to let this get to you. So I listen to myself. Does that sound bad? Oh my God. I sound like Kanye loves Kanye, but I do. I listen to myself to do the thing. Do the thing.
No, yeah,
Sure.
that's a deep message, man. I really like that phrase. Show up for yourself, and the fact that you listen to yourself is actually interesting because different states of mind, different times, right? So it's kind of like you're talking to yourself. Kind of
Yeah,
probably you made that podcast for your future self.
exactly.
Lily said, what would you say is the biggest change in your direction between season one and season two?
Ooh, I was
That-
so critical. Ooh, Lily, how you gonna do me like this? Come on, guys. Why aren't you guys asking like, how's my day going? You know what? Season one, I really tried my flavors, and I didn't really have a rhyme or rhythm of my guests and the message that I wanted to portray. Season two, I was extremely critical of myself, extremely, to the point that must have had, at that point, I must have had like 16 episodes, and I really thought about not airing them at all. I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing season two. Season one was epic. I can't beat myself. So, because I'm in competition with myself, that's my whole mentality. So the biggest change of vision is that I had to understand that even though I did 55 episodes, I still don't know what I'm doing. So I still have to accept the failures and, the episodes that I think are going to pop didn't pop. And the ones that I think are so basic popped. So like, I'm really still trying to figure out, oh, sorry, I'm not basic. I've learned this. So I really have to figure out how to let go of the high standard that I hold myself and still have fun during it. Because I was super serious in season one. And right now I'm like, all right, that episode didn't pop. It didn't pop. Next week I'll have a better one. I'm more lighthearted with it than I was in season one, when I thought like, there was an episode that I taped and the firefighters passed by while I was taping, and I thought it was over. Like, I'm like, that's it. This episode.
For real, right?
Yeah. Like, so I've definitely been a little more, now it's like the dog's barking, everything's happening, and I'm like, yeah, this is your go advice from Hanna. Like, I just keep flowing, because I'm like, when I'm on the red carpet or when I'm on like a TV set or whatever, there's going to be noise around me and I'm going to have to deal with it. So, just carry on, get over yourself.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, so we're not out of time, but getting close. So you're right now. You're everywhere. I mean, I see you're training. You're doing like features. You're doing webinars. I saw. You did training with Artscape Daniels, right?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was super.
So talk about like some of your speaking gigs, like before the whole COVID thing happened. What were some of
Can
the
I just say, I
speaking
was
gigs that you
doing
did?
so well. I was doing so well before COVID. Like, I had some stuff lined up, man, and I was so excited. I've been blessed and grateful enough to have a really cool network and a kick-ass work ethic to go with it. And I did Microsoft in January, so I did keynote for Microsoft. I got to work with the Economic Club on this money and mindfulness thing from like November, and it was supposed to be, 7 or 8 of those things all the way through July. So I got to be on stage with them and talk to a whole bunch of young people. That was super cool. I was doing like I was working on a lot of stuff, like a whole bunch of different ideas, and COVID happened, and I was just like, ah, damn, what am I gonna do now? And then the webinars started happening, and I'm like, okay, cool, let's go, let's get this done. So that's kind of what I've been working on. The Launchpad, that was supposed to be a 2-hour live in session thing, March, maybe 8th. That was supposed to be Thursday. And we had to do
Right.
it online. So, and now I'm chilling. But that doesn't really mean chilling in my world. But I'm just working on a couple different projects and things like that I have on the go. I will tell you this, because this is what am I working on next? That's your follow-up question. I'm doing a really cool project right now that I'm working on it and putting pieces together to help feed. So everybody right now, because of COVID, everybody's trying to feed the first responders and the paramedics and everything, right? And I love it. I think it's a great idea. However, the Hanna side of me, there's a lot of people that are on their faces right now who are in like women's shelter that had to leave abusive relationships and things like that, and they're on themselves. So I'm teaming up with a couple of people to see how we could provide support and stuff to those women right now that are, not having a good time because of COVID, and they've had to leave their houses because of it. So that's kind of what I'm working on now, a whole different narrative, but something that like, it's hard. It's hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's kind of what
true.
I'm working on right now. Once I have more pieces and stuff like that, I'll share. But that's kind of what's on my horizon, and a couple little other projects here and there. But that's where and if anybody wants to be in the podcast, hit me up, because like I gotta start interviewing again.
Wait, you started season 3?
That's season 3. Don't even talk to me right now about season 3. I'm on Christmas. I'm on the holiday special. Gisela, I know you're there. I told you holiday special. I see you. So I didn't forget. I have a couple people already lined up, but that's 20 episodes that I gotta bang out before they let us all outside, and I can never tape with anybody again. We'll be inside.
So when do I get to get on the podcast?
You guys heard him. You guys heard him.
Last thing is last word of advice or anything like that.
You know what? I was thinking about this before I got on here, and I just want to commend you on everything that you do. Like your platform, and like you have me wearing your brand colors, for crying out loud. So
that's fresh. Yeah, I appreciate that.
That's how much like I believe in your vision, and I want to let everybody know who's on the call or who's watching or who's listening. If you guys want to pursue something, if there's something that you want to do, don't let your old self or negative people or just the fact that you don't think you have resources in a network, which is what I hear a lot, stop you. Start, hit Cream up, hit me up, whatever. We'll chat you up in DMs, and always treat whatever you're doing like it's a $1 billion business all the time. Professionalism, courteous, be polite. That's kind of my little business one-on-one tips out here.
All right, cool. Appreciate that. That's good advice. Thank you, Hanna. I'm sure we could probably keep talking.
Forever.
A lot more juice. But I appreciate your time. Everybody go check out her podcast. It was posted in the chat, so if you need the link, but it's called the Advice from Hanna podcast. It's on season 2 right now. Season 1, 55 episodes. She got lots of special guests. She got a lot of solo episodes. It's crazy. I mean, I'm not even like fully caught up yet, but but I'm there. I'll check out a whole bunch of it, and it's super dope. And yeah, she has like crazy work ethic, and her network is dope too. So connect with her on LinkedIn, connect with her on IG. Hanna, I'm just gonna ask you to post all your handles in the chat for everybody. Yeah. And you're gonna stick around, right?
I'm the queen of your chat.
Yeah, you're not going
You're always
nowhere.
my Tuesday nights. So thank you so much for having me.
All right, thanks, Hanna.